Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sampson and Stephanie Phillips with another episode of Veterans in Politics. Today, our guest is going to be Michael Leonnetti, author of Deceit, Corruption, and Cover-Up. Interesting book. But before we get to Mr. Leonnetti, Ms. Phillips.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. And thank you to our sponsors. We have Dr. Ari Nagy. He's running for Congressional District 3. His website is nagyforcongress.com, and that's F-O-R. nagyforcongress.com. Jump on his website and check out his platform. Also, we have Henderson's Mayor, Michelle Romero. She's running for re-election. Her website is votemichelleromero.com, votemichelleromero.com. And we also have Cody K. Whipple. He is running for Congressional District 4. His website is codykforcongress.com, and that's the number 4. codykforcongress.com. Also, we have a merch store. It's vipimerch.com, vipimerch.com. We have all kinds of fun stuff for you guys to check out there. And don't forget to grab your copy of Steve's book, How to Navigate Nevada's Family Court System. It is on Amazon. It is $14.99. And if you are a litigant in family court and you don't have an attorney and you can't afford one, this is a self-help book, and it will help you navigate that system. So grab your copy. Also, don't forget to grab your tickets to our Valentine's Day ball. It's going to be February 7th of 2026, and we have early bird tickets on sale right now, and they are going to go up soon, and there is a limited quantity of these early bird tickets, so you're going to want to grab those and save yourself some money, and we will look forward to seeing you in February. For my rant, I don't really have a rant. This morning I was up super early, and I had learned about this woman in town, and she is disabled, and she has no hot water, no gas, so there's no heat. She is challenged with finances and money, and there are so many things that she needs, and it broke my heart. That's just one person out of thousands and thousands just here in our valley that need help. And through my nonprofit and through the donors that I have, they're very generous, and we were able to help her. And I don't say that to boast or get kudos or anything. That the point is, there's so many people that need help out there. When you come across somebody, just lend a helping hand, give food, help wherever you can. And we're going to be giving away all these toys to children at these 2 schools that we sponsor. And we're doing a Feed the Homeless drive again right before Christmas. And we're putting together food bags. We're going to have hundreds of those. And it's great to help out the community when and where we can. And with the holidays coming up, I just wanted to put that out there. And if you want to help us or help, join in what we do in the nonprofit, give me a call, get in touch with me.
Well, you should tell them the name of that nonprofit that you have.
Well, it's called Den Mothers, denmothers.org, and it's on my Facebook page. It also I have a Facebook page for that as well. But I appreciate the people who donate and make these things happen and gives us the ability to help all these people. And I'm so appreciative. And I wish I had millions and millions to take care of so many people, because there's so many hungry kids and homeless people and veterans in our valley that need help. I could be an advocate and, do that 24/7. There's so much need out there.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that, Ms. Phillips. Mm-hmm. Mr. Leonnetti.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
Could you give us a bio, please?
About myself. Well, I came to Vegas in 1972. Had a hit record. Played all the...
You did? What's that called?
You'll never know. You'll never know just how much I love you. And there was a local...
Keep going.
It was a local hit, and they stuck me in Vegas. I tell this story on the stage. And they said, Mr. Leonnetti, your dressing room is at the Sands, down to the left. So I opened up the door. And you got to remember, I'm 74 now. I was just a kid at that time.
What year was this?
72.
That was the year I was born.
Okay,
Holy cow.
Vegas was, I could never tell you how great Las Vegas was. So I walked in. I didn't know anybody in town, and there was a little stove, cutest little stove. I looked at it. I got depressed. So I went over. I made a long distance call. Them days in '72, when you made a long distance call, the person on the other end had to answer it and to accept the charges. So my grandmother, I'm telling her in Italian that I want to come home. She says to me, "You can't. You got to hit record. What did I teach you? When you're unhappy, eat a dish of macaroni, make you feel better." So I go to the
Eat a dish of macaroni.
Right. So I go to the store. There's a place called Skaggs Alpha Beta. This is way before Smith's and Albertsons and Food for Less. And I get some tomato garlic. And in the dressing room, I decided to cook. Steve, I just put the macaroni on the table. I hear a knock on the door. I said, Manon, who could that possibly be? I get up, I open the door, Sinatra. He looked at me and said, "Hey, kid, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm making a dish of macaroni. You hungry?" He said, "What'd you say to me?" I said, "I just put a pasta on the table. Have a dish of macaroni." He said, "Wait a minute." He said, "You're that kid with the hit record." I said, "You're right. Come on and sit down." The guy ate. He said, "Manon, the food's delicious. Where's the phone?" It's in the corner. Gets up, he walks over to the phone. He said, "This is Mr. Sinatra. Give me Dean Martin's room." He said, "Dean, do me a favor. I'm in the dressing room just for a minute. You got to meet this kid. He cooks like my mother." The rest was history. So through all them years, I performed. Now, I wasn't a main act, but I was a main lounge act. You know, and then I hooked up with Candy Crisseau 25 years ago. She was head of the Orleans Hotel. She was in marketing. She's my publicist today. Through her, well, my magazine, I cooked for Robert Goulet, Jerry Lewis, very dear friend of mine, Donald O'Connor, all the stars. So the deal was, they come to my house to eat. When they were done eating, then I would sit and I would talk to you. Because once you fill your belly, they felt more comfortable. They didn't know what I was going to ask them. So I shot from the hip, and my magazine was #1. It was called Las Vegas Image.
Well, did you eat before you came on this show?
Well, I had a little.
They're going to dinner after.
I'm going to take my wife out for dinner.
I want you to make sure that you're full before we start asking you questions.
No, listen.
He had macaroni in the car. Are you kidding?
Like I said to you, my book came out in 2019, sold over 25,000 books.
The name of the book?
Deceit, Corruption, and Cover-Up.
How'd you get that name?
Well, you know, my wife and I, we were the one that we did it after I exhausted everything that I did, you know, and build my empire again. Because like I said, I did...
What happened to it the first time?
What's that, sir?
You had to build it again. You said,
I lost everything I had. I went away. You know, August 16th, I was sentenced to 20 years.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I got sentenced to 20 years. And I wound up in, I did 13 years to clean up a 20-year sentence. But I did something in prison, Steve, that no man.
Why were you sentenced to 20 years?
They got me for attempted sexual assault. I had a girl, teenager, that worked for me. There was some problems with this girl. And
what kind of problems?
Well, her girl, this is what was told to me. I can never verify it, but her girlfriend, the girl worked for me.
Right.
She was a teen magazine. She wrote for my teen magazine.
What was the name of your magazine?
Las Vegas Image.
And is that still in...
No. When I went away, that lasted a year. That was the end of it.
Okay.
They folded up.
Okay.
That was in 11 states and 150,000 in distribution.
Wow.
And that's how it really started, which I hope we can get into that, because I filed a $250,000 lawsuit to the police department for false arrest. If I didn't file that lawsuit, they signed the police report that I never touched her.
But this started...
Go ahead,
this started back in the Lake Havasu and all of that.
When I was this was in Havasu. I was the marketing director for the Ramada London Bridge Resort at that particular time. And there was a secretary said that I grabbed her. I grabbed her.
This is a different girl.
35-year-old secretary, you know.
This is Lake Havasu.
This is Lake
not
Havasu.
In Vegas.
And what happened was it was down to a misdemeanor, and 10 years went by.
So you've been hanging out with Trump or what? What's going on?
No, just a regular, nothing like that whatsoever. Well, thanks, Steve. I appreciate that. You know. And
did you grab her? Did they get you on that?
No
charge?
No, there was a hearsay.
Oh, okay.
It was hearsay. You know what I mean?
Lake Havasu.
The Lake Havasu incident. Right. So what happened was, as the time went on, and this incident happened.
So tell us about the one that worked for you.
The girl?
The girl. Yeah.
Lovely young lady, brilliant young lady.
How old was she?
15. 15.
Okay.
For a magazine, and she was so smart. We paid her to do our payroll.
Wow.
That's how smart this young lady was.
Okay.
But my father-in-law, my wife, my ex-wife.
So you were married at the time?
Oh, yeah. I was married 25 years.
Oh, wow.
With this girl.
Okay.
All right. The girl's mother, okay. the lawyer. We were all in business together.
Right.
You understand? Yeah. And what happened is that, so I get the story straight for you.
For everybody.
The young lady that, this girl, Chelsea, her girlfriend got pregnant.
Right.
She needed money for an abortion. Chelsea gave the girl the money.
They were doing abortions back then?
I don't know, my friend.
What year was this?
2000. This was 25.
Oh, okay.
This was 25 years ago.
Okay.
Were they accusing you of giving the money to the girl for the abortion?
Chelsea gave the money. Had nothing to do with me.
Okay.
So they
didn't accuse you of impregnating that girl that needed the abortion.
No, I had nothing to do with that. So what happened is that she couldn't pay the girl back. So she wanted to get even with Chelsea. So she picks up the phone and she calls the police department and she says, Michael Leonnetti, the owner of Las Vegas Image Magazine, is having an affair with my girlfriend. Well, all of a sudden, they came down, they talked to me. I said, well, I don't even know what you're talking about.
But that's not a crime to have an affair.
Well, you have an affair with a 15-year-old girl.
So she mentioned the age.
Yeah, right. Her girlfriend said to get back at her. Okay. I didn't have a clue what was going on.
Okay.
So in the interim of this, detective came down and I said to the detective, I know what you guys did to me years ago in Havasu.
Who's the sheriff back then?
The sheriff, I don't know who the sheriff was. David Rogers was the district attorney.
Oh, okay. This is in 2000.
This is in 2000.
Oh, okay. Fast forward.
Yeah,
who was the sheriff? Who was the sheriff? Gillespie
then.
Yeah. Okay. So, not a long story short. So anyway, the detective, he goes out, he picks up the phone and calls Lake Havasu and says, oh yeah, that guy's a sex offender. Next day he comes over. Now my ex-wife knew, let me tell you something, Steve. I'm a South Philadelphia kid. You push me against the corner, you're going to pick up your teeth. I'm telling you. That's the type of guy that I am.
Right.
He walked in, he says, we got it from good sources. He says, you never registered. I said, I'm not a sex offender. You're making a mistake. He says, well, you got to come downtown with me. So you want me to come downtown with you? I got up. I started taking my rings off. The minute I was going to take him out right there.
Oh.
Because he arrested me in front of my 11-year-old daughter. Right. I'd have gave this guy a beating right where he stood at. I'd have stretched him right there. So she gets up and she runs in front of me. No, Michael, we'll get you out. Don't worry about it. Right. Well, I got bailed out the next day, and we go find out that they made a mistake. It was not a sexual assault. It was a misdemeanor. Right. When I found out what happened, I don't know if I can curse on TV, but
you can curse.
The shit hit the fan. All right.
So
now
let's slow down so they understand. So they were coming to arrest you because you had not registered.
I didn't have to
as a sex offender because they thought that you were convicted of a felony at Lake Havasu, right? A sexual felony, but you weren't convicted of that.
Absolutely,
it was
not
a misdemeanor.
Well, yeah, Lake Havasu gave them the wrong information. Now you got to remember, I had a major magazine. I was 150,000 in distribution. I was in 11 states. When I found out what Havasu did to me, you couldn't talk to me. Those days, metaphorically, I'd hit you with a hatchet. Today, I cut you with a stiletto. So deep, you won't know until you look down. I picked up the phone, and I got on the phone to David Rogers. You such and such, when I get done with you, you ain't going to be able to drive a cab. When I get done with you for what you did to me. Steve, you couldn't talk to me. I was like an animal. I was embarrassed. How dare you arrest me, who I am, my background for something. Now, in the interim of this, we filed a $250,000 lawsuit, which is in there in my book. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Did you have a misdemeanor on your record in Lake Havasu?
Yes, that was
a misdemeanor. Did you plead to a misdemeanor?
Yeah,
was that a deal made with the DA?
Yeah, it was a misdemeanor. It didn't do nothing. It was hearsay.
What was the plea?
What was that?
What was the plea? I mean, what did you admit to doing?
Aggravated assault, nothing sexual.
Okay.
In Lake Havasu.
In Havasu.
So if you plead to aggravated assault, do you have to file or do you have to be on the registry?
Only if it's a sex charge, you do.
It's aggravated assault.
Okay.
Yeah, if I turn around and I hit you, it's an assault. I grab you by your...
Why would you plead? Did you do it?
The girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Okay. I'm going to lie. She's 35 years old.
This was the secretary.
That was the secretary.
35-year-old secretary.
It was like, You know, I was a player those days. You know, I tell it like it is. I'm going to say, oh, no, I didn't do it. Come on. Be truthful. You know what I mean?
So they made up this thing about you having to be on the registry to arrest you here.
No, they thought that.
They thought that, right?
Yeah, because Lake Havasu said it, but they never checked into it. So when I found out that it was false,
right.
So I got a lawyer, which was James Gessman, and naturally Michael Root in there.
Mm-hmm.
We filed a $250,000 lawsuit, okay, 5 days prior to all this incident. Now, in the interim of all this BS that's going on.
What'd you file a lawsuit for?
For the false arrest.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what the paperwork is in there.
Right.
What court did you go, state or federal?
It was state. So we go inside and we're working on that $250,000 lawsuit. In the interim of all this, my father-in-law, who was really the money behind the magazine, you know, and Gessman and the girl's mother were doing a deal to get the Union Plaza, the property on the Union Plaza. They really didn't want me involved in it. They wanted me out for whatever reason. Because my father-in-law, well, you know, he's not Italian, you know, it's a little different, you know what I'm trying to say? And he was the money guy. I can't say I put the money up them days. He did. You understand? Him and my mother-in-law were the publishers of the magazine. So they put all that money up. But I was the guy that brought the money in. I was the guy that did all the sales and got everything. And then my ex-wife, she's the one that did put the magazine, like your book, put the magazine together. Mm-hmm. So within a week's time, this girl, Chelsea, we were going to file charges against the parents because they were so brutal against this kid. You would not do what they would do to this young lady. And she would...
What did they do to her?
Oh, they would call her names and, you know...
Why would they do that?
Well, she liked to eat, the girl. She was heavy. She got heavy. And her father at my house. Because I had 20, 30 people every Sunday in my house. They were a part of my group. You know, they would come for dinner, other people with families. Each week, I had 20 to 30 people at my house. And the stepfather would say to her, you're fat, you're getting overweight, what's wrong with... And she'd cry to my wife, and I would say, you know something, we really can't get involved with this.
This is Chelsea.
That's Chelsea.
This is the one that accused you of...
Right. So when the detective came down, they went to the parents' house. They signed a no prosecution form. You know what that means?
No.
No prosecution form? I'll give you for instance.
They said you didn't do anything.
They said, right.
With her.
He never touched me.
So what did they end up filing? How many felonies did they finally charge you with?
That I think if I'm not mistaken, it's all on the register. It was 25 counts, 2 counts of assault and 25 counts of sexual seduction. All right. Now, in the interim of this, okay, the lawyer now, the girl, like this is important about Chelsea, comes to the house, babysits my daughter.
While this is going on.
Prior to me getting arrested. This is prior to me to the arrest.
Gotcha.
The first arrest. Now I'm filing a lawsuit.
Right.
All right. I'm getting ready because they're going to be on my next issue, the police department, because I'm laying these people out.
Right.
I come home, I get up in the morning, and my wife says, your daughter wants to talk to you. My daughter was 11. You got to remember, Steve, I was married 25 years. I waited 16 years to have a kid. My daughter was 11. She was a wonderful kid. Tell Daddy what happened. I said, what's the matter, Elena? Tell Daddy. What is it? She says, Chelsea took out her breast and rubbed ice cubes on her nipples. That's all I had to hear. She assaulted my daughter. When I heard that, I got up, I called my brother-in-law. I said, get that girl and bring her in my house. I said, you did that to my daughter? I said, you're ripping my family apart. We tried to help you. And all this is, and you're doing this to us. You did this to my daughter? I said, I got to fire you. You're firing me? I can't lose my job. I said, for what reason? You're living with your mother and father. She was making $500 a week, this kid. She had $25,000 in the bank. This kid had money. Okay, she did well. I gotta let you go. I cannot have you. Your mother drove me nuts. I lost money with your mother when I went to Beijing, China, and that deal fell through. You gotta go. You're firing me, she said. I said, yeah. She went, okay. No sooner she walked out that door, she picked up the phone. That was perfect for the police department because that's what they wanted. They wanted that girl to flip. And she did. Now, in the interim of all this, James Gessman.
So she said that you sexually assaulted her.
Oh, yeah. She said I made love to her 30, what was it, honey? 10 times a day.
That's why they charge you with 28
10 times a day. I'm good, but it ain't that good, Steve. 10 times a day, 13 times a day, you know. And at that particular time, I got in an accident. No, I got in an accident. I was on, and I say it because it's in my book, I was on 150 Loratabs a week. Do you know what Loratabs are?
Oh my gosh.
It's synthetic heroin.
Very addictive.
It leaves you in a comatose state. You're not looking for it. You know what I'm trying to say to you? So I had everything that I had would have showed my innocence. Now, Guessman, he's really messed up because he just lost $1 million because that deal fell through. The $250,000 deal fell through. And now that's my father-in-law's lawyer. They wanted me out of the picture. So I get up. I'm in the county jail. That door opened up. I'm like this. You know what cold turkey is? Okay? The minute that door opened up, I flew off the second floor and I hit the concrete. I woke up in the morning with my hands in. This is why Hollywood wants to do a movie on my life. My hands were in mitts, suicide attempt. The lawyer came twice to see me. When he found it, he said, don't tell nobody what you did. He says, we'll never get this deal. I said, I don't want no deal. I'm going to trial. I'm going to trial, Jim. Listen to me when I'm telling you. Now, here's a guy, he had a motive. He had a motive what he wanted to do. His job was to make sure that I was put away for life.
Who had the motive?
The lawyer.
Your lawyer.
Yep, that's James.
Guessman?
Guessman. That's James Guessman.
So Guessman was your criminal defense attorney.
Represented my wife in the divorce.
Simultaneously, he also was your wife's divorce attorney.
Right.
And he also was working with your father-in-law.
And the girl's mother.
On the magazine.
No, yeah, right.
Company, right? He was the resident agent for the magazine.
Right.
And Chelsea's mother?
Yes.
How was he working with her?
To get that property at the Union Plaza in the back.
Okay, so
casino.
He has a massive conflict of interest, but you guys all had worked together previously before, so you felt comfortable using him as your defense attorney at the time?
At that particular time, a guy came to I believed in him. I believed in this guy.
So he told you to plead to what?
Well,
what did he?
Well, he didn't come. He only came twice to see me. He says, "Let me tell you, Mike." He says, "If you get on stage, they're going to give you life." There's a life for what? There's not evidence. I didn't do anything, Jim. He said, "It doesn't make a difference," and it's done, Steve, every day. Because most of these lawyers, you know what they do? They graduate from the school of Monty Hall. Let's make a deal. See, I understand what was going on. But my mind wasn't right at that particular time. So after 3 months in the county, he says, listen, you'll do 12 months. It's an attempted sexual assault. You'll do 12 months and you'll get out and then we can fight this.
How can you say attempted if the girl is saying that you're making love to her 10 times a day?
That's what the deal was. See what I'm trying?
So basically that's rape, right? Attempted sexual assault is attempted rape.
And if
right?
You can call
That's what they were accusing you of.
Exactly.
So
sexual assault is a nicer way to say it.
I know, but I mean, they have all these words. I mean, let's call it what it is. So when he came to you and said, if you plead to this one count of attempted sexual assault or rape, you'll get 12 months.
Yeah, you'll get 12 months.
And that's when you agreed. And then all of a sudden they slammed you with
wait, let me get to
20 years.
Let me get to the best part. So I go to court. It's October 16th, 2000. Mm-hmm. Judge says, you have to say what you did. What did you do, Mr. Leonnetti? And I'm looking like this, Steve. I'm totally discombobulated. Everything was taken from me. I had no access to my money. Mm-hmm. I had no access to my family. Okay. I got people that I believed that were for me that weren't for me because there was an agenda. He leans over and he goes, "So you had an affair?" I had an affair, Your Honor. Okay, we'll accept that. So it was attempted sexual assault. One attempted sexual assault, Your Honor. And 2 to 20 years. I said, Jim, I leaned over. I said, it's supposed to be 12 months. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Be quiet. Listen to me. We're going to give him 8 to 20 years. Steph, I looked around and said, I went like this. They can't be talking to me. 8 to 20 years. Don't worry. Just be quiet. Here's the best part. That night, I'm in the cell. That night.
Were you in jail this whole time?
The whole time, never got out. I walked out of my house.
You think even no bail?
$300,000.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But listen, it could have been $100. They had my money tied up. I couldn't get at my money. They say, hey, Leonnetti, you got to visit. So Guessman comes in. He gets the paperwork. He says, here, sign this. I said, sign what? He said, this is the divorce papers. Jim, what are you talking about? I said, I'm going to divorce. What? Wait a minute. Hold it. What? He said, listen, you got to sign everything over to your wife. This is a 50-50 state. It's against the law. You know what I mean? And I said, wait a minute, what's this? Custody, parental rights I got to give it to my daughter? I can never see her again? You don't want the state to take the child, do you? They never would have took the child.
Yeah.
See, that was...
So he was just manipulating you because he was representing the wife. They wanted to get rid of you.
Right.
And then while you were in court, there was a father and a daughter that overheard your ex-wife and that
was 4 years later.
Right?
That was 4 years later, the evidentiary hearing.
And they were talking about
having me killed.
Allegedly having me
murdered.
Right?
They wanted to have me murdered.
And so they went in, those witnesses went in and told the marshal or the bailiff in the court.
And the bailiff told Jackie Glass.
The judge was Jackie Glass at that time.
Now you got to remember, 18 U.S.C. subsection 4 specifically states, anytime a state officer of the court that is notified that a crime is being committed, they got to notify the proper authorities.
But she said
never did. She squashed it.
She just said it was hearsay, right? So she
it doesn't make a difference. They had to get that. You have to bring them people on the stand. But here's the thing. I fought for 13 years to pull my plea and go to trial to prove my innocence. And it's against the law. Steve, I could tell you a plethora of most district courts, Supreme Court, Ninth Circuit, federal court, denied.
Did you file a complaint against the attorney at the state bar?
It's in the book. They put him on 2 years probation.
They didn't do anything. He got a little slap on the wrist.
Well, they put him on more. This was in 2000. So more so. Now, 4 years later goes by. Here comes my evidentiary hearing. When I walked out and I looked in there and I went, look at this. There's the girl's mother. There's Guessman. And then I put the pieces together. So from sorrow and tears, went to strength. I became a bull. I went in that law library and I fought in that law library as a law clerk. Now, I can't pass the bar exam, but I guarantee I wouldn't miss by much. And I studied and learned and got my life together. And I fought for all them years. Now, I get out of prison after 13 years.
What prison were you in?
I was in 10 years. I was in Indian Springs, and the rest of the time I was up north. I had this young kid came in, I gave him a crack, and they shipped me off the yard.
I read in your book, you filed motion after motion, and they were all being denied for years. So how did you finally get out? What did you file?
I expired. My sentence was expired. Then I had
after 13 years.
Well, it takes 13 years to clean a 20-year sentence. Now, if you get in trouble, or you get in fights in there, or you stab somebody, you'll do that 20 and some. But I never once in all them years, Steph, had a problem in prison. There was guys your size. They knew what I was about. No one ever once put their finger on me. Because you can take one guy, two guys. These guys pile in 5, 6 at a time. You ain't going to beat them. But I was loved and respected because I did something in prison that no man ever did before.
What is it?
I wrote and directed 60 biblical plays. I had over 17,000 men came to my show, and I worked with 300 of the roughest guys in the world, murderers, thieves, molesters, you name it. I would say, wait a minute, I got a part, you're going to be great. And taught these guys God's...
Don't shake me. I got a part for you.
Well, it sounded like from the description in the book that they all enjoyed it. They enjoyed acting in it. They enjoyed watching it. And you had a lot of thousands come and see all of this. I've never heard of anybody writing plays in prison, but go to the part where the warden wanted you to write a play and you told her no.
There was a guy named Mario Dallara. He's dead now. He was the guy that killed, he ran the veterans program in prison. So he came to me, he said, Mike, you got to do me a favor. He said, would you write a Christmas play for us? I said, Mar, come on, buddy. You know, I'm doing the biblical plays. He said, come on, I need your help. Mm-hmm. So I wound up doing 3 Christmas shows for the veterans on the yard. I had these 3 guys. You're going to love them. These guys were all murderers. I had them pantomiming Alvin and the Chipmunks. Whatever I said for these guys to do, they did. But the people respected them. They loved these guys that were out there. And I didn't want to do them anymore. And here comes the day of the event. I was supposed to be in the show, and the warden, Cheryl Foster, her name is, she said, Mr. Leonnetti, she says, I heard you're not going to perform. No, I says, I just want to do my biblical plays. She says, you can do both. I said, I don't want to do both. She says, you don't? She says, okay, enjoy yourself. Next morning, I get up, the cell opens up. I got my little briefcase. I'm walking down to the chapel. The guy, get on the ground, Leonnetti. They came out from nowhere. They grabbed me by the back of the neck, threw me in the hole. So the
Because you didn't want to
for 90 days, right?
30. They gave me 3. Well, they want to do 180 day stat time. I wanted to fight it. So the guy came to see me. He said, Mike, listen to me. I like you, man. You're a good guy. I was told to find you guilty. Now, stay in a hole for 3 months and move on. I said, so once again, I got to sign for something that I didn't do because I didn't want to write a play. You put me in a hole for 30. It said 90 days. Is that what you're doing to me? Is that what you want to? He said, Mike, you want to fight it? Go ahead. But I'm telling you, I was told to find you guilty. And I backed up like this, Steve. And I looked up. I said, what did I do? How much more do you want from me? And I did my time. And then, but the biggest thing is today is that they broke the law. You can't represent me in a criminal case, represent my wife in a divorce and be in business. It's a conflict of interest. Jackie Glass knew it. You know how many judges recused themselves from me? 11. Never in the history of anybody there was 11 judges that were recused from me. Nobody wanted to touch it.
Have you gone back and sued her?
How could I sue her? Sue her for what?
When you got out?
Listen, I just came out. I was working a jackhammer for $10 an hour.
Whatever happened to the first suit, the $250,000 lawsuit?
Well, naturally, that was squashed. They squashed that. They should have not squashed that. One thing had nothing to do with something else.
So why, looking back,
Go ahead.
And I always wonder this, and no one would, unless you're in that situation, no one can judge and no one could say what they would do unless you're in that situation. But it always baffles me, I guess, and stuns me when people admit to something they didn't do instead of letting it play out and standing on your innocence.
Well,
when you were at that point, you had to make that decision. What was it just that clicked for you to admit something you didn't do?
Well, you have to remember, like I said before, and whatever I'm saying to you, I can back it with documentation. I didn't buy the pills on that. I got in an accident. And some from 30 pills to 40 pills to 50 to 150 a week. And if you look at what Lortabs are, you know, I would have sold them for $10 a piece. I would have made a fortune. And I was eating like candy. I was on it for 2 years. So when I got locked up, I was like this. You know, my body, my mind, I wasn't right. It took me a long, long time. And naturally, he won't let me talk to my wife. I picked up the phone. I tried to make calls. They won't answer my phone calls. My father-in-law it was all part of it. Now, 4 years goes by. I'm in court, all right, on the evidentiary hearing. And I have a guy named Michael Schwartz. And I say it because I mentioned another lawyer in Las Vegas. I called him. He won't answer my call. He leaned over. He said, I can win this case, but I'll be destroyed for the rest of my life. I said, what? I can win, Mike. I can beat this case. He said, but I'll never get another deal. I said, excuse me, Your Honor. I don't want this guy. And she gives me a lady named Betsy Allen that I mailed my book to. She mailed it back. She was there. She was also told 4 years later that Guestman tried to have me murdered, that they knew that they tried to have me killed. Now I'm in.
What they want you killed?
Well, you need to ask them that, Steve. Why would you want me? Why would I want to kill you? You didn't do nothing to me. But I exposed them because I fought every day. Okay, I lived it. Every single day in that law library, motion after motion after motion. I didn't stop. Okay, that's what I breathed and I lived it. You know, and guys would say, Mike, give up 1 year, 2 years. I could have got out 4 years earlier. Just go to the classes and tell them what they want. No, I went to the parole board with all my paperwork. They said, well, Mr. Leonnetti, you're going to have to do the rest of your time. I said, good. I could have got out like everybody else. And do you know how many people that are on sex offense charges in Las Vegas? Thousands. Not one ever wrote a book, not one ever came up and said, I'll go back. I'm an innocent guy. They might tell you on the side. I came public. Did I have to come public 25 years later? No. But I did it because it bothers me because there's nothing that I can do. I didn't get my pound of flesh. Geschman is dead. Jackie Glass is off the bench. She won't have like I asked her, come in front of me. Say, are you allowed to, what you should have said, pull the plea and go to trial. Now I get out of prison and I have a federal lawyer. Deborah Brookcutter, her name is. They had her under the thumb. She said, Mr. Leonnetti, your time bar, it was on actual innocence after all these years. I said, what are you talking about? I was always on time. She said, Mr. Leonnetti, listen to me. Get your life together. You're fighting City Hall. She says, well, let me tell you, if I win, that doesn't mean you're innocent. They'll recharge you. Are you willing to put 20 years on the line? And her name is Deborah Brookout. Call her and ask her. I said, yeah, I'll be more than happy to put that. I'll go right back in. I want to go to trial to prove my innocence. Because they would have got that girl on the stand. They would have destroyed. Said, did you write a police report that the guy never touched? Show me some kind of evidence. Nothing. And then to do that to my daughter. But in the interim, I lose my daughter, my family, my friends. I lost my empire.
Have you ever used an alias?
My last name, legal name was Biondo. That's why, you know what I mean? But my mother, I took my mother's maiden name. Michael Leon, my grandfather, Michael Leonnetti. I was changed to Leonnetti.
Did you change it to run from anything, or did you just...
No, it was just that I always used Leonnetti. That's why when you see my television show, it says Anthony Biondo, because his father and my father were the same. But they got divorced when I was a kid. But my grandparents raised me. So my mother changed my name to Leonnetti.
So now you have to be registered on the sex offender registry. Yes. Are you tier 2, tier 3? What
when I got out, it was a tier 2. 3 years later, they changed it because when you first got out, Steve, you would not believe it was the parole board that did all this. You couldn't have no liquor in your house. You couldn't live over here. You couldn't do Halloween. You couldn't put stuff up. You couldn't walk into a park. And then you had to go to classes. Now, here's the best part. They put you on lifetime supervision. I never signed that, the do's and the do-nots. They stuck that on me 13 years later. The day I walked out of prison, the guy said, Mike, you need to sign. I said, what's this? He said, you got a friend? I said, wait a minute. I didn't agree to this. 13 years later, well, if you want to get out, this is what you got to do. I said,
lifetime supervision?
Anybody that's got a sexual assault charge has lifetime supervision.
And you can't have a firearm. Right.
Well, I don't need a firearm. I got these.
Well, I'm just saying that's one of the conditions. So how often do you have to meet with your parole? Do you have a parole?
No parole people, nothing like that. Once, what's it, honey? Every 3 months? Everything.
And what do they do? Do they have to come look at your house?
Once a year. Once a year, they pass by to make sure that you live there.
Do they follow you?
To his closet, see what's in there.
Yeah.
Do they follow you around?
Absolutely
Do you notice?
not.
Oh, they don't.
Follow me around.
Well, I don't know.
No. Why would they follow me around?
I don't know.
They want to know where you shop at.
Well, they may. But I'm very well friendly with a lot of people from Metro. You know what I'm trying to say to you? A lot of people came to my restaurants. And I'll say this again. If people thought I was guilty, Joe Brown, George Chanos, and a lot of these other would never come on my show. I came out with that. You understand? The only shot that I got is to get pardoned from the governor. That's the only shot that I have that I know that one day that will happen. You know what I mean?
Have you applied for that?
No. But Are
you gonna?
Yes, I am. Well, my lawyer's working on it right now, and he's putting a motion in to go back to a tier 2. But what they did, it was 4 years later, they put everybody on tier 3, which is that's a terrible.
Is that the high? Is it 1, 2, and 3?
1, 2, and 3. What I like to change, what I like to see is the drug guy go on lifetime supervision and tear this guy.
Did you go through the Ninth Circuit Court?
Yes, I did.
How was that?
Actual innocence. It came back actual innocence. Okay. And when it came back, Jackie Glass squashed it. Okay? Steve.
Did she have it in for you? Did she know you at all? Was she trying to do someone a favor?
You have to understand what I've done. I went against the police department. Let me tell you, how tall are you, Steve?
6'2".
Okay, pretty big guy. The last thing I want to do is let you know I'm going to throw a right hook at you. I made the mistake of picking up that phone and calling David Rogers and says, when I get done with you, I should have never done that.
No.
I should have kept my mouth shut and put them on the front cover.
See, you hot-head Italian.
Oh my God.
See what
You
happens?
and I'm calm. This is 25 years ago.
You gotta learn how to breathe.
Oh no, I breathe. That's why I'm a success. I was a success before I went to prison. I was a success in prison. I've been a success since I've been out.
Mr. Leonnetti, could you explain to the people that are watching what takes place in prison so they don't end up there? Like,
Well-
your experience.
And to not plead guilty to something you didn't do.
First of all, you have
What's
to
your
have a
advice?
lawyer that's going to believe in you. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, unless they got you by the cojones and say, Steve, listen, you got some evidence here.
We got CCTV on.
Yeah, we got something. You're gonna take a ride. So if I was you, so think about it. 25 counts, attempted. People, and then when I told people, say you got 20 years for that because it was all inside. Because their thing was to squash that $250 lawsuit. Because I'd have sued them. That was just
$250,000 lawsuit.
yeah, it's in the book.
For the wrongful
For the
arrest
wrongful
in the
arrest.
beginning.
See. And I filed it on the 25th, and they came that night to lock me up.
Explain what takes place in prison that you have personally witnessed.
Well, when I went to prison, I went to Lovelock, and they stuck me. Tell you how, no, you got to believe. For you viewers, you got to be a believer. If you're not a believer, shut the camera off and watch something else.
Mm-hmm.
They stuck me in a cell. They said, you remember cell 60B. And I opened up the door, and there's a black guy in the cell. Now, in prison, I thought they put you with Italians. The hell did I know? I didn't know. If you're black, you're with black. You're Mexican, you're with Mexican. White, you're with white. And I stopped. I said, they got me in the wrong room. I'm Italian. The guy said, well, stay the night, leave in the morning. Well, Steve.
Stay that night, leave in the
You know what I'm trying to say?
We'll turn your pillow down.
We'll find you another Italian.
So
Just
I
hang on. 24 hours.
So I sat on the edge of the bed, and I went, in my book,
In
in
the cell.
the cell, my name was Crying Mike. You think I'm BSing?
Crying Mike.
Crying Mike. I cried I took a nervous breakdown. I cried for 4 years.
Wow.
4 years I cried. And I'm like, and the guy said, you all right, pal? I said, no. I said, I'm innocent. He said, what'd you do? I said, I'm an innocent guy. He said, don't feel bad. Everybody in here is innocent. I said, well, I can't speak about that, but I'll tell you what. He's a black guy. So he said, what's your name? I said, Mike Leonnetti. He said, Mike, my name is Maurice Singer. He said, I'm a lawyer. I'm a jailhouse lawyer. He says, I can help you if you're telling me the truth. Let me tell you something, Steve. That man saved my life. I was with that guy a year and a half in Lovelock. What that guy didn't do for me. He gave me my cell, everything. Hey, pal. Hey, buddy. Black people don't talk like that. Hey, pal. Hey, buddy. But the minute I was with him, you knew what car I was in.
Wasn't it his idea to get you to write the play, the first biblical play?
Well, what happened is I don't know how much time I got. I went to church. I went to the church, and I walked in, and I knelt down. I said, "Dear God, give me the strength." I wanted to kill myself. Oh yeah. I lost everything. I opened my eyes. I was in a world I didn't belong. I said, "Give me the strength," and I'm crying. And the guy comes over, Steve, and he puts his hand on my shoulder, and I look at him. He says, "Are you all right?" I go, "No." I said, "I got something in my eyes." I said, crying. He said to me, "Are you Mike Leonnetti?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Mike, you don't know me, but I'm an inmate like you, and I'm a pastor here. I wonder if you can help me maybe write a play." No, I don't do that kind of stuff. I said, I got to go. I said, and I walk out next morning. I go talk to Singer, and Singer says, "Mikey, why don't you do?" I said, "No, Sing, listen, I'm going to do your case. I promised your mother. I'm going to get you out, buddy. Don't worry about it." And this guy was brilliant. And he was down 15 years. He's still in prison till this very day.
He did murder.
You know something, Steve? I never asked him. I didn't care what people wanted.
That's the only thing you can do to get that much time.
Yeah, it must have. He had and he was an Air Force guy, jets. Good looking. He looked like Denzel Washington, and every day would come in. "Hey pal, hey buddy, I made you peanut butter and jelly." No, I don't. No, you got to eat, Mike. He knew I was dying, and then he would say, "Mike, you got to stop crying. They're calling me in the office. They're going to 4-point you. They're going to send you off the yard. They won't be able to help you. You got to stop it." He said, "Do the plays." So I go back the next morning, Steph, and I go up in the church, and I'm kneeling down, and I say, "Dear God, you got to give me the strength to take myself out. You got to take. I can't do 20 years." Sure enough, I feel that hand on my shoulder, and I look at the guy. He said, "Mike, listen to me. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to say to you, but I'm begging you. Please help me." I said, "What do you want me to do?" I said, "I'm not a playwright. I'm a Las Vegas entertainer." He said, "Wait a minute." He gets a book. He gives it to me. The Bible. I said, "Man, don't hit me with that, because I believe God turned away from me." He said, the story of Job. I said, Job who? I don't even know the guy. He said, read the story. Needless to say, 60 plays later, 17,000 guys later. And then the Sereno came to me. I was doing the plays in Spanish. I was respected on that yard. And everybody knew what happened to me. Because in prison, what are you in here for? Let me see your paperwork. You're stabbed, beat up, and raped on the spot. No one ever once put their finger on me because God had his hand on my shoulder. And the day I walked out of the prison in the morning and said, I got to ask you a question, Mike. How'd you make these guys listen to you?
What day did you get out of prison?
I got out of prison October 16th, 2000.
2000?
No. I got over prison. I'm sorry. March 12th, 2012.
And when did this book come out?
Well, when I met Laura, I built my empire. I built my fortune, and my friends that said to me, Mike, there's another day of fighting. Listen to me. You got to get people behind you. You got to have money behind you. And I started in time sharing, and I bought a couple of houses and flipped them. And then I met my lovely wife, and we opened up a restaurant, 7 years, did $1 million a year, had the #1 restaurant in Las Vegas. It took me 2 years to write that book. And that woman is the one who wrote it, because I would tell her that. And I would get the book, and she said, Mike, we got to proofread it. I said, I don't want to hear no more. Mike, we got to get through it. I would relive what you've seen in that book, because it wasn't fiction. It was truth, and listen, I got everything back that I lost.
What was the name of your restaurant?
My mother's house.
Is it still open?
No, we closed it. Her health was against her. And I said, that's enough. But I'm going to open again. I got other investors want to come in.
Still in, besides the jailhouse lawyer, you're still in, tell me what happened in prison. Any craziness that you saw?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, you were there for how long?
13 years.
I mean, so you've gotten to have seen something.
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of stabbings. Okay. I've seen a lot of people get their head cracked. A lot of guys. And then when I did the law library, a lot of people with the sex charges, the other guys didn't want to work on their cases. They would come to me. You know what I'm trying to say? Because let me tell you, these people that do that, they're sick. There's a sickness when you touch a child or you do something like that. You know what I'm trying to say to you? There's something that's not right.
That's right.
It's easy for society to say, kill him, stab him, it's easy to say that. But as you see what's going on today of everything that's happening, listen, my days are done. Whatever time I got left, if I get another 10, be 84 years old, I'll be happy if I still got my health. You know what I mean? But what I seen in there, I tried to make a difference.
So you're 74 now.
74. And I wanted to do something nice for people. That's why the restaurant. And then I wrote the book. And when the book came out, I would get on the stage, and at the end of my number, ladies and gentlemen, don't let the tuxedo fool you. I said, I did 20 years, and the people would laugh. I said, but I wrote a book. Can I get a book? Can I get a book? And that's how I met Kellogg's. Bob Kellogg, he was my customer. You know what I mean?
The cornflakes guy.
Yeah. He was the heir. And that's why he sponsored. He said, Mike, I believe in you. You know what I mean? And I got people, because people say, well, you got these guys on the show. Maybe the guy is innocent. But it's easy for people to knock you down.
So you have these detractors. They're probably watching right now.
Detractors?
Detractors that call you names.
Yep.
Think that you're guilty because you pleaded guilty. And call you a pedophile and all these. What do you say to those people?
Well, you know something? No one in 13 years ever called me that to my face in prison. And the two people that we're talking about, someday, through the grace of God, I might be at the mall. I might be somewhere, out for dinner. And I want to say, you had something to say to me. What do you want to tell me?
I'm right here. Yeah.
Tell me what you want to say, and then we can get down. We can get busy.
That's how I roll.
See, that's what I am.
Showed up somebody's house. They were keyboard warrior me.
Well, you have to understand it's easy, because you know what kills me? You got a guy, I don't want to get into it, but he got a 52-year-old guy who wants to be around little kids that has the brilliance to teach college. But he wants them to be little girls and boys, and then every Saturday night they want to sit down, one in one house, one in the other house, and say what they want to say. A true man, you got something you want to say? Let's take it to the cell. Tell me what's on your mind. Don't let my gray hair fool you. And even if I lose, don't know you've been in a fight when you got done with me.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you, there'll be that one, of course.
And if I don't win today, be sure I'm gonna win tomorrow.
Well, you got one guy. Like I said to you, there's a sickness there, and I dealt with them type of guys because the guys that want to do that, I like to grab that computer and see what this kid's looking at. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah.
Do you have a lawsuit
I guess so.
against them or
Well,
anybody
right now, my lawyer, but it's the school district that we're going after because they got no money. I'm going to tell you right now. The other guy, it would be so nice if he threatens me in some way because the CCW license will be disappeared because anybody's a tough guy when you want to carry a piece. I don't carry a piece. I don't need a piece.
But you can't carry one, can you?
If I never did, I don't have to carry one. You know what I'm trying to say to you? I got a lot to lose because people want my money. You understand? But this guy, you know what I mean? He does the guns and he does the other things. He does this, takes people. If you file a complaint, okay, with the court, what do you say when you what did the lawyer filing for?
Cease and desist?
Yes, a cease and desist. Yeah, like they can't come near you. You become a threat.
It's a protection.
Yeah, protection order.
Yeah.
You lose your CCW license. You ain't going to be so tough walking around.
Your book has the name Corruption in it.
Right.
What evidence do you have to support corruption?
And 2005, I go to court, judge, family court, and
Family court.
oh yeah, family court.
He was going through
divorce, and Gaston was in there. God rest his soul. And I won on the Rule 60B, fraud. And my ex-wife was there, and naturally she blew every dime that we had. But I won in family court. So how could I win in family court on the fraud, but yet I couldn't win the other way? Everything I wanted to do was follow the law. So if they're not corrupt, Steve, then it's okay to represent you in a criminal case, represent your wife in a divorce, and be in business with it. They should have pulled my plea and let me go to trial. But see, I was strong. I'm ready for battle. You understand?
Did they deny that motion?
They denied every motion for 13 years.
Yeah.
Usually, because I've been around a lot of people that made different choices in life, and usually a lot of them would like to be quiet, just don't want to be in the spotlight because of this and that. Why are you in the spotlight?
Why not? They don't deserve to get away with what they did to me. Okay? They don't deserve to. The Honorable Jackie Glass, shame on you. Her husband used to come to my restaurant all the time, Steve Wolfson. My wife is right there. She'll tell you. Till one day he looked over and he see my drums. I said, Mike Leonnetti. I never seen him again. He loved the meatballs. The guy used to come all the time. He loved the meatballs, this guy. You know what I mean? I knew exactly. Until one day he looked over and he put the pieces together. Okay? It's against the law for what she done. She should have been arrested. She should have been fined like Guessman. I was the one that filed the charges a year later. That's why, even though it was a slap on the hand, okay, he had to go CEL classes. They put him on 2 years probation. So yeah, he had all the motive to try to have me killed.
Are you going, does this young lady, she didn't testify against you?
No.
But she filed a criminal complaint.
The family filed a complaint.
Are you going to file any kind of lawsuit against that family for that?
You know what I did right there?
Where are they now? Are they here in Vegas?
Let me say this to you.
Do you know? Are they here?
Well, when I got out of prison, everybody moved out of the country because I had a private investigator look for my daughter. She was 11 the last time I seen her.
You've never seen your daughter since
she was 11 years old, and they came and got me. And they came with 7 guys because they knew you better take 7 with you, pal. Mm-hmm. And they walked in, and my daughter started crying, Daddy, where are they taking you? I said, I'll be right back, honey. And I never seen her again. She's 36. I got 3.
Haven't seen her since she was 11?
They took off. They moved out of the country. They moved away.
Did your ex-wife tell her or convince her that you did this to that girl?
Of course.
So you've never spoken to her since. Where is Chelsea and Rebecca?
Who knows?
Out of the country too, maybe?
They're not here? I have no idea. Why don't they come forth? Why don't the girl come forth?
Wow.
I've been out there. Why don't you come and say, this guy's lying? This guy, why don't you? They can't, because they would bring up the assault that she did to my daughter. She would bring up, didn't you sign a police report? The man never touched you. Now he touched you. Make up your mind.
I mean, even not seeing your own child, I mean, that alone is a civil death. You know.
Wow.
How do you handle that?
Difficult.
I'm sure. You mentioned that you had private investigators. Why don't have a private investigator go find your little girl?
I know where she's at.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah. But they know.
You don't want to say?
She's in Florida.
Oh, so she's not out of the country. She's here.
She's back in Florida. What, to out of the country? Then I found out through a private investigator. But, so many years went by. The tree's already bent.
Why don't you go see her, Daddy-o?
You know
You're
something,
still
Steve?
Daddy-o, right?
I
You're
know.
still Daddy-o, right?
I agree there, but I'm a very spiritual guy, and I leave it in God's. If your heart is not right, you can never receive anything.
But how does she know you're even out?
What's that? Oh, how do you know? YouTube.
Send her your book.
What's that?
Send your daughter the book if you know where she's at.
Autograph it. Send it to her. Say, I'm out, baby.
This is your side of the story.
Have you even reached out to her?
My ex-wife, anybody that...
She's 36 years old. Forget about your ex-wife. Your daughter's 36 years old. Why not reach out to her? I mean, what do you got to lose? She's your daughter, right?
Well, when I got out, Steve, I did contact her when I first got out.
Okay.
And she said, don't you ever contact me again.
Okay.
But that was a long time ago.
I understand that, but you have to. It's done every day, especially in family court. Yeah. Mothers turn their children against the fathers. The fathers turn their kids against the mothers. It's easy. Everybody's a teacher. If the trouble hits your door, then you become a pupil. Why did you do this and why did you do that? It's easy to talk.
Okay, you don't want to go back through that.
But if she knocks on my door,
I'm sure that just hearing that is heart.
Sure.
Crushing.
The only shot I got is my grandkids, because they're going to go on YouTube. They're going to go like this. I want to know who my grandfather was. And they're going to pull me up on YouTube, but they're going to see the book, the shows, the entertainment, and they say, that's my grandfather. Then they're going to have to explain it. But if my daughter knocked on my door, of course, come on, I'm Italian. You know what I mean? And I don't want to bring up what happened, because I lost my son 2 years ago.
Oh, you have a son?
He got in a car accident.
Oh, I'm so
my
sorry.
son. He was 52 when he died. You know what I mean? So I had 2 kids, you know what I mean? And unfortunately...
Did he visit you while you were in?
Yeah, he came up. And I didn't see him for 20 years, and I had a visit. I hear a guy say, hey, Pop, yo, Pop. I said, who's this bald-headed guy calling me Pop? He was in his 40s. He was 21 years old the last time I seen him.
Sorry about your son.
Yeah. He was a great kid. He had cerebral palsy, my son. But brilliant. He was brilliant with his hands. He took that for his grandfather. He could fix anything, and he was very, very good, So like I said to you, for me, Stephen, thank God that Getzman is dead, and my mother said something to me. She said, Michael, promise me you were going near them, because she knew the way I was. Because I'm telling you, Steve, if I would have got my hands on this guy for what he done to me, you know what I mean?
When did he die?
I think it was a few years ago, but before I got out of prison.
Was he a former cop?
He was a cop. He was a judge.
And was he accused
Bar 1610.
Was he accused of beating his fiancée?
That's the guy.
Well,
that's the same guy.
James Getzman, Bar 1610.
She's gonna go. We got the other guests outside.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did he have any relation with your ex-wife? Did they have something
that I couldn't tell you? I can't say yes, they did when I really didn't know. But I want to thank the both of you for giving me the opportunity to come on. And for you people that see me, because I mentioned my show on my ladder, Mike Leonnetti Variety Show, I'm on YouTube, and I will continue to do that. And maybe one day I would love to, like I said to you, call Jackie Clear, just say, why did you do that? You know you broke the law. The only thing I asked you to do was pull the plea and give me a shot.
Mr. Leonnetti, I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your story. We had to dive right into that because we knew that we had another guest coming on, so we wanted to get with the real.
Well, I hope I answered your questions.
Yeah, but okay. I'm going to give you an opportunity to. Mark is going to zoom in on you, and then you could go ahead and you could plug your show. Okay. Plug the book again, Amazon. I don't know if it's on Amazon.
It's on all over the world.
Or plug whatever you need to plug. Okay. And reach out to whoever you want to reach out to.
Your phone number, email, anything.
At the same time, you're doing it.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Could I grab that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I get that? You ready? Everybody, thank you very much. I want to thank these wonderful people for bringing me on the show. Like I was on the Ed Bernstein show, and Ed gave me the same courtesy that you guys gave me. They gave me a little bit more. My book is called Deceit, Corruption, and Cover-Up. You can get it anywhere in the world. Candy Crusoe is my publicist. I'm very, very proud. You can get it anywhere. Book Babies, they get you quick. Amazon, you're going to wait 3 weeks to get it. The truth is right here. You understand? When you're innocent, you got nothing to hide. Remember that, folks. When you're innocent, step up. Because when you write a book, you got to be prepared for people to ask you questions that you want to ask. You can believe it, you don't have to believe it. But remember, look above a cloud when you feel as though that everything's against you, because God will never let you down. Take it from a guy like me that lost a kingdom, and I got it all back. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody that's out there. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. God bless you.
Absolutely.
And God bless you, too.
And don't plead guilty when you didn't do it.
Okay. It'll never happen again.
Tell him.
Mr. Leonnetti, again, thank you so much for
My
the
pleasure.
show. Ms. Phillips, thank you so much.
Mhm.
And folks, that's Michael Leonnetti, author of Deceit, Corruption, and Cover-Up. And we hope that this show was very informative. And one thing I learned sitting here is don't trust your lawyer, and don't plead guilty if you're innocent. Don't take a deal unless it's in writing, notarized, and you have a copy in your back pocket to make sure you have something to document that. Happy Thanksgiving to those out there, and God bless you all. This is Steve Sands and Stephanie Phillips of Veterans in Politics. Until next time, we have another show.